Five things you should know from 103.9 The Fox, brought to you by Fick Landscape Supplies. As we spring into the new season, it's time to get that driveway in shape with tons of driveway material, plus the finest topsoil, compost, and humus. Fick Landscape Supplies, 2 locations to serve you. Find out more at ficklandscapesupplies.com. Like us on Facebook. Now, let's get Fick and busy. Jury selection began yesterday in the hush money case involving former President Donald Trump, but not one person was chosen. More than half of the first group of prospective jurors said they could not hear the case fairly and thus were immediately dismissed. The judge overseeing the trial set a hearing date 1 week from today over the prosecution's request that Trump be held in contempt for violating the gag order in the case. Michigan Democrats hoping to restore their slim majority in the State House of Representatives today as voters fill 2 vacant seats in suburban Detroit. The chamber deadlocked at 54-54 in November, while 2 Democratic members won mayoral elections. Today's contests are in District 13 that include parts of Macomb and Wayne counties, and District 25 that takes in the city of Westland and Wayne County. The winners to serve for the remainder of the year. Movie armorer Hannah Gutierrez Reed, sentenced yesterday to 18 months in prison in the fatal shooting of a cinematographer by Alec Baldwin on the set of the Western film Rust. Red Wings are taking it right down to the final night of the season. The Red Wings beat the Montreal Canadiens 5-4 in overtime last night at Little Caesars Arena. They stay alive for a playoff spot heading into the regular season finale tonight, which is in Montreal, a rematch with the Canadiens. Saginaw Spirit trounced the Sioux Greyhounds 7-2 to go up 2-1 in their second-round playoff series in the OHL. Game 4 tomorrow night in the Sioux. Tigers blanked by Texas 1-0. The Loons host West Michigan tonight at 6:05 in Midland. And Caitlin Clark was the number 1 overall pick in the WNBA draft. She goes to the Indiana Fever. And to cap this one off, the flame that will burn during the 2K24 Olympic Games in Paris was just lit a couple of hours ago during a ceremony in Greece. That's 5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox. Forecast calling for plenty of sunshine today, along with temperatures topping out around 65. Winds out of the east at 6 to 10. Clouds gather tonight, showers roll in, and the winds pick up overnight also, with temperatures dipping down to around 49. Then we get off and on showers through the day tomorrow, along with some brisk winds, and highs again reaching around 65. Thursday, mostly cloudy and 63. Right now it's 43 in Flint, and in Saginaw, 41.
Flint's Classic Rock Authority.
103.9. The Fox. I got to make a distinction here. These folks that are with us are from the Genesee County Road Commission, not MDOT, but this is the start of MDOT's construction season, and the Genesee County Road Commission here to talk a little bit about the road issues that we're going to be running into and safety awareness, and that's next on the Fox.
Yeah, they are. Hey, good morning, TikTok. Welcome to TikTok Tuesday. Here we go with the live morning radio program from Flint, Michigan, USA, the home of the formerly crappy water. Johnny Burke and Steph Barber are the hosts. They will have in-studio guests to talk about all the road conditions and road construction that are necessitated by those road conditions in our beautiful state of Michigan. We have 2 seasons, winter and road construction. That's it. And so you're here to listen into that and whatever we do here in the next hour, because that's what we do. Not only do we let you hear what's going on with the show, but during the music and the commercials, we chat with you for about an hour or so. Hey, good evening, Mel Mel, who is joining us from our wonderful country, Australia, which is almost Wednesday now. Dale is here, up early on this Tuesday morning, checking in from the Navajo Nation, Arizona. Welcome to Dale. John is here. That would be the guy we've been calling Fitzy for as long as we've been doing these live streams, and that's 9 years now. He's one of our senior members with a happy Tuesday coming in from him. We also have, it looks like we also have our friend from West Virginia. That's American Dan, City Boy Dan here. Good morning, Gone Lee. Good to see you guys. Sheila's here with the sunshine. Going to have a lot of that today. Good morning, Sheila, Bay City, Mish. Also, we have a good number of other people here who have joined us, and so welcome to each and every one of you. And throughout the morning, we will get more and more of you here, hopefully hanging with us. Find yourself a nice vantage point. Get ready to join in on the discussion today, because we'll talk about a lot of things along the way. Tina here from New Jersey. Good morning, Tina, who is always one of the preeminent viewers and contributors to this group that we call the Hal Raisers. My name is Hal, by the way. I do news and traffic, and the people who have been joining our live stream for all these years, routinely and regularly and loyally, are called the Hal Raisers, like Tina is at the top of the list. Good morning to New Mexico. Chris, live and local there. Good to see you. Let's tune in to Johnny and Steph and guests.
Jared Godley, the construction manager, and Kylie Donchie, communications coordinator, Genesee County Road Commission, are in the house with us. We're talking about construction. Let's make a distinction here right off the bat, though. A lot of the interstate stuff you guys have nothing to do with, right?
We do maintenance on the state highways, but any of the construction on IM or US routes, that's done through MDOT.
So I-475 complainers need not call them at the Genesee County Road Commission. You can call MDOT.
Thank you, Johnny.
No problem, Jared. Yeah, things are. This is famously Michigan's construction season. We see it. Orange barrel season is called a lot of different things. We have winter and orange barrel season. They famously say about Michigan.
U.S. Army is here. That we've called him 101st. 101st. Good morning, sir. Welcome from Florida, I assume.
40 jobs this year alone.
Wow, and that's just Genesee County Road Commission.
That's correct.
And that's crazy.
We started off pretty well. Yesterday was awesome. Great weather. Another one today before the rain comes tonight.
So, what's going on right now is we've got Elms Road Bridge out in Vienna Township, which they just poured the deck last night, and they'll be opening that bridge shortly, and then we're going to close Linden Road.
Chris has power again after a brief interruption, it appears. Going to be sunny and 84 today in Florida. All right. And you're going to have to work through it all, right? You can't take a break. I'm betting.
Right.
101st is one of those flight technicians. He's working on fixed-wing aircraft.
Oh, you're going to tick off our general manager who has to drive that way.
All right, we got to figure out who I'm taking off with every one of these. I'm saying. We've got Hill Road, Linden to Torrey.
All right.
Anyways, that's just mill resurfaced, and then we're going to be closing Grand Blanc Road down to one lane from Fenton to Porter. That's an extension.
It's like Jeremy of Kentucky is here. You get vacation starting next week for 2 weeks. You going anywhere? You're hanging in Florida.
Roundabout.
Yes.
That'll start late July, so we're hoping to wait till after school's out.
Right.
Greg the G-Man and Ronald, good morning, boys, gentlemen, and Margie, and RBHS.
This week and last week was Irish Road there between Court.
Oh, you're hanging at home? Okay, cool.
Yesterday, Detroit Street started up.
Staycation. Not a bad idea, especially if you're in Florida.
Are you guys doing the work on Bristol Road too?
No, that's not us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Now, all right, so Kylie, this is the start of...
Dale is 20, but feels like a teen. He was basically holdover to a discussion that we had last week about how, with this particular group, we never concern ourselves when birthdays arise with how old you are, but it's rather how old you feel, because that's really your true age as far as we're concerned.
Construction zones are temporary, but the damage you can do to a worker is permanent. Be careful in those areas because, you know, people, we go on our way and we see a construction zone and we just go, okay, I got to get through this construction zone. We don't stop to think. There are people that are working there, and if you do anything wrong, you could end up killing somebody or hurting them at least. This is a time to bring that to mind for everybody, right?
Yeah, that's actually the theme of this year's Work Zone Awareness Week is work zones are temporary, actions behind the wheel can last forever.
You said it so much better than I did. Thank you.
And so we really want to remind people about that hands-free law now in Michigan. A lot of people are still driving with their cell phone in their hand.
Yeah, they are.
That is now illegal, and especially when you're in a construction zone, you want to make sure that you're paying attention because there are so many things that are dynamic. And what people might not realize is that a lot of people who are killed in construction zones are actually drivers and they're passengers.
Yeah. Exactly, and of course then we've got to worry about the construction workers who just went off to work for today and then maybe not coming home tonight. Obviously something to be aware of, and it's that time of the year when we try and remind you of that because this is when construction season rears its ugly head, and it's something that's obviously necessary. Why, let me ask you guys this. In the state of Michigan, it seems like we sometimes have to keep repairing the same roads over and over again. How does that happen? Why does that happen? And I'm going to ask Jared Godley. He's the construction manager. He knows better than anybody, I would imagine.
So it depends on the fixes we do. Sometimes we're doing fixes and repairs that are somewhat temporary, right?
Right.
We've got some overlay projects that we're doing this year, that are just a mill and resurface. So we're taking care of a problem, but that problem we're taking care of is going to only last about 5 years.
Right.
And depending on the weather, like this year we had great weather, so we were talking about potholes. We didn't get a lot of freeze thaw this year, so we shouldn't see the breakup of the roads as bad, technically. But and so we get more longevity or life out of these roads.
Right.
But then, like 475, like MDOT's doing, we're doing on Detroit Street a total reconstruct. I don't know if anybody gets up there, but it's pretty bad. And so that one, we're tearing it all out and starting over.
You know, I was going to bring up Davison Road, too, out there towards, going out towards Davison, out that direction. Off of
We did, as they're talking about on the air, have ourselves a comparatively wonderful winter around here. Not nearly the snow that we usually get, requiring all the road salt that tears up the roads that they're talking about. The weather was unusually warm much of the way, and in February, we had a couple of stretches where we had 70-plus degrees. That never happened in Michigan before.
Consistently do the same roads over and over, and it's kind of like maintenance on your house. You know, you do maintenance, and then it lasts a few years, and you might have to do it again. It's the same idea.
Yeah, you probably heard that whole thing, though. Why don't they build it out of whatever they put on the heat shield on the shuttle, because that thing lasts forever. So, yeah, if we could just build it out of whatever heat shield material they're using on the shuttle, I have a feeling that would be a kind of $1 billion, $2 billion.
Windy and cold in Arizona yesterday, One of our friends in Arizona showed me a photo that he'd taken of the dashboard
Yeah, who takes them all?
readout that they had that mentioned, at least in his vehicle, that it was 92 degrees, I think, over the weekend. So you're starting to get in that familiar territory, right?
Everything in everybody's eyes is construction, so...
Yeah, it was one of Fitzy's. Fitzy's in Michigan. He's a little bit north of us here, and he enjoyed this winter, as many of us here in this state did, unless you are one who owns a $600 snowblower that you couldn't use, or you make your living plowing parking lots from all the snow. Those guys had nothing to do this year, and they were grumbling the entire time. Or if you like snowmobiling or skiing, all those kind of things, this was an off year for that.
Season?
Yeah.
Let's say I'm getting probably, it depends. Some days I get 10 calls a day.
Wow.
And then there'll be other, on average a week, I'd say if I average it all out, I'm probably getting close to 20, 25 calls a week.
Well, these are the people behind getting this all done for us, making sure that we've got the roads that we need to travel on to get to and from with relative ease. So thank you very much for what you guys are doing over there.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks for letting us come here today and share.
Well, no, I always love having you guys in, because we get that in. Now, the phone has been ringing, so I'm going to have to answer this call. I have crossed my fingers. 103.9 The Fox, hi.
Hey,
Hey.
what is going on with 475 by Stewart Road?
Yeah, we were just talking about that off.
Northbound and southbound.
Yeah, 475 by Stewart Road, what's going on is what they're asking. That is not a Genesee County Road Commission project. That's an MDOT project,
Correct.
unfortunately, so these people may not have that answer for you. You have any reply to that at all? They just want to know what's going on with the I-475, and where was it again?
Stewart
Avenue area there.
Stewart.
So I do know the MDOT's going through, and they're going to reconstruct 475 through there. It's been
Yeah.
a long-going project. This one is going to be a 3-year project too. So we're gonna.
It's been for the last 20 years, for crying out loud. When it's a 3-year project. Come on.
Listen, it's not his fault. He's not
That
MDOT.
one, Johnny.
I know it's all. That's all. You got to get that through MDOT. Unfortunately, they're the ones that are handling that. They're doing a good job, but they probably have their own reasons, and you'll need those answers to come from them. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I agree. Though, I mean, it seems like I-475 is an ongoing project every single year.
It is.
Yes.
It is. I mean, all over the state, you can see it over and over. I mean, especially Southeast Michigan, which we don't deal with, obviously. But if
Well,
you
good
drive
morning,
through there,
Paparazzi
everybody
Patsy.
thinks
Welcome
75,
to our party.
95 is always under construction. I-96 is always. It is.
It is.
It is.
I-96
Going to be
is always under
89 on Saturday in FLA. And I'm sure you guys all have your own issues regarding roads, but here it's an ongoing problem. A lot of it because of the winter, the rough winters that we normally have, that we didn't have this year, but we normally have, and the amount of truck traffic that we have rolling through, which is going to tear up the roads, and the road salt that we have that cures that, at least short-term cures the problem of being able to get from here to there during a slick road. There's all kinds of buildup of problems that we have, and the constant road repair is frustrating people in Michigan.
60 miles an hour, 45 when workers present.
All right.
Please slow down to 65. You're going to make a lot of people behind you mad, but let's do it because it's going to get you safe and the workers safe and everybody safe at home, back home.
Thank you very
In
much.
the local roads, look for the speed limit signs.
All right.
If you're on a 55-mile-an-hour road, typically we're going to lower them to 45. If you're on a street that's a little bit less with traffic on it, like Detroit Street, we're lowering that down to 35.
Right.
It just depends. Well, all I can say, and this is the big message in National Work Zone Awareness Week, is as you start to see those orange and black signs, the barrels,
Right.
anything orange, my favorite color. It's telling you to go ahead and put your phones down, put all your distractions down, let the kids scream, don't worry about them for 5 minutes, and just pay attention to what's going on. We're changing the lanes, we're shifting the traffic. We've got the signs out there. Read them, please, and follow it. And most work zones are very short. Even on the 69 or 75 or any of the MDOT routes, they're typically about 5 miles long. When we slow down from 70, if that's what we're doing, posted speed limit, to 60 to the posted
Patsy
speed limit.
reporting a
So
92-degree
we're almost 5 minutes
forecast in Valdosta, Georgia, where they've got the Bluesberry
minutes
Festival.
there.
What happens, Patsy, at the Bluesberry
And
Festival?
everybody else gets to get
What are the big
home.
events there?
Kylie mentioned it, but I want to say one more time. 85% of the deaths in work zones is the motorist driving through,
Really?
not the worker.
That's an amazing statistic.
I would not have guessed
Yeah,
that.
I would put that out there a little more often even. Kylie Donchi is the Communications Coordinator, Genesee County Road Commission. Jared Godley, the Construction Manager. They've seen more than their share of close calls. Be careful out on the roads, especially in construction areas where we've got workers present. And obviously 85% of the accidents there occur when they occur are going to injure the person in the car, not the construction worker. So for your own safety, do it. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
You guys got a
for having
website.
us.
Can people catch up with you on the website or follow construction schedules on the website?
Yes, if you go to gcrc.org, we have it under our construction tab. Every active job we have is on there.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
The Foxhole Morning Show. Johnny Burke and Steph on the way.
This hour, by the way, will feature Steph's Fox Flashback, and we're less than a half an hour away from that here on the Fox.
And it's a service of Way to Be Medical Weight Loss. Shed those unwanted pounds effectively, safely, and affordably with FDA-approved weight loss injections from Way to Be Medical Weight Loss in Grand Blanc. Call 810-866-4567 or visit waytobe.com.
Uncovering the mystery of what's going on at the Bluesberry Festival. Patsy says it features blueberry pie eating contest, which sounds tasty, blues music entertainers, and all caps brew. So if you're in the Georgia area, particularly in and around Valdosta, the Bluesberry Festival coming up there. So there's that. Let me give you a chance to smile at the face of Belle, who is an English cream dachshund who lives in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Every dog has his day. Belle has her day. We do this as a smile source to start your day on the right foot if you can, with a smile. And Belle is the one who's going to let you do it. English cream dachshund lives in Virginia Beach, Virginia. There you have it, right there. Right there. All right, here's Jason. Here he's known as Copper Boy. He's Jason, our world traveler, who bases in Vegas, but then he gets in a truck and he's everywhere around the world at some point. And where are you today, Jason? Russ here. Good morning, Russ W. And Lynn Schmidt. Good to see you guys. Welcome to our fun, which is 103.9 The Fox in Flint, Michigan. A couple of things going on right now to be aware of. We have a crash in Vienna Township reported at Neff and Morgan Roads, potential slow-go spot there, and in the city of Linden, Broad Street at Bridge Street, a crash there. Nothing going on right at the moment on any of the freeways that's been reported, but if you're spotting a crash or unusual delay at any time, we hope you're going to call us and let us know what the details are at 810-230-WRSR. That is 810-230-9777. And get your vehicle city traffic information all the time, anytime from classicfox.com/traffic. Be a traffic tipster right here on 103.9 The Fox.
Traffic, a service of Fick Landscape Supplies. As we spring into the new season, it's time to get that driveway in shape with tons of driveway material, plus the finest topsoil, compost, and humus. Fick Landscape Supplies has 2 locations to serve you. Find out more at ficklandscapesupplies.com. Like them on Facebook, and now let's get Fick and busy.
All right, Jason's still in Salt Lake City, where the hockey world is going to start paying attention because the Arizona Coyotes are apparently going there. And the rest of this Bluesberry Festival includes a free blueberry pancake breakfast at the newly renovated historical courthouse. All this in Valdosta, Georgia. Patsy, a member of the Georgia Come Visit Us Commission. Love it. Love it. You're waiting to get your windshield replaced. That's why you're still in Salt Lake City. Is that going to happen today? Now, from the area that's losing the Coyotes to Salt Lake City, Hot Gym, where it's 56 in Phoenix as of 4:15 a.m. this morning, Pacific time, on its way to 88 this morning. We have someone else who's in Arizona this morning. Also, Dayal is here from the Navajo Nation. So you are now covering Arizona from a couple of different angles, at least that we're aware of. There may be more. So good morning to you guys. I see Backwards April is joining us also this morning. Good morning, April. Hopefully sometime today you'd like to be able to get out of there. Twisted Sister. Twisted Sister. Yes. Thunderstorms in Chicago today, reports Backwards April. High of 75. That whole Backwards April thing goes back a long way. Don't mind me. April Melissa over here, but we've been calling her that for a long time. And it's going to be 75 beautiful degrees in Chi-Town today. Probably with some wind and thunderstorms. We're going to get the rain tomorrow. It's coming in actually overnight tonight. She's going to pass it over from Chicago to us over here in Michigan. We'll get it overnight and then through tomorrow and probably into the next day as well, it looks like, according to the forecast. But yesterday and today, beautiful. Beautiful. Still Backwards April everywhere. Beautiful. Beautiful. Good to know that. All right. Sharon Sharona, hello there. Good morning. Good to see you. What can I tell you about? You know what I can tell you about? As Jen joins us this morning, our friend here, you think it's supposed to rain the next 2 days. That figures. But, it's April. The old April showers and May flowers connection kind of thing going on. We're going to have a lot of flowers in May, I can bet you, based on what we're seeing here. We had a divorce happen. I was discussing a divorce yesterday when we were on our Facebook because we do this all week long. We travel. It's Brother Hal's traveling live streaming show. We're on Facebook on Mondays, TikTok Tuesdays, X Twitter tomorrow on Wednesdays, every Wednesday, Instagram on Thursdays, and then on Fridays we double up Twitch and on Facebook, our dual stream. That's our schedule if you'd like to be able to follow us wherever we go. Because we're everywhere. We're like the Grateful Dead, and we're looking for people like the Deadheads used to be following us, called the Hellraisers. Okay? And yesterday, talking on Facebook about this one divorce going on, there was one that was actually done accidentally. Not the one I was going to tell you about, but we have one that was done accidentally in London. Mistakenly divorced after an error made by solicitors at a London law firm, which I'll talk to you about in a minute here. Patsy loves TikTok Tuesday. That's the thing we're hoping for.
We've got lots going on here. Make sure you stick around because at the 8 o'clock hour, I already announced we're going to have the next chance for you to register to win the big backyard bundle from 103.9 The Fox and Timothy's Tractors. We're getting closer and closer to that. Speaking of getting closer and closer to something, there's a Veterans Appreciation Concert coming up with guest speaker Isaac Walsh. It's going to happen at the Davison VFW Hall where you have to go around all that construction we were just talking about at Court and Irish Roads. But this will happen on the 20th of April. Now, I believe that's coming up this weekend, yeah.
It is.
Yeah, that's this
Saturday.
weekend. This Saturday from 5 till 10. A Veterans Appreciation Concert with special guest speaker Isaac Walsh, featuring End of One and Cot Flame, and sponsored by UCAN Recovery, Rock for Him, and the Spiritual Warfare Unit. That's what it says. They've got a DJ and a 50-50 raffle, cash bar, and food, all planned at the Davison VFW Hall. If you need more information, you can contact Steve Teeples in the 810 area code. His number is 241-0254, but that is this.
How do you accidentally get a divorce? I'm about to tell you.
Over there, Davison VFW, right behind
it is possible.
Court and Irish Road.
And I will tell tell you that I drove through the Irish Road construction yesterday. It is not as bad as it looks, and it moves pretty quickly.
Yeah, and there's a way you can go. We got a heads up on this. I got to find it on my phone. But we got a heads up on this from our friends over there at the Davison VFW. There are certain ways that you're being told that you should go around the area. Kirk Anthony, who is the post commander, said, what you want to do, let me see, is to take Irish Court Street construction again. Take Davison Road east to Gale Road at the traffic light where John's Pizza is on the restaurant on the corner. You want to turn right, go to Court, turn right, and go to the VFW. Or Lapeer Road east. Take Lapeer Road east, apparently, to Gale Road. The traffic light there is where Church Collision is located.
Okay, Backwards April is looking at this story because her divorce cost her 10 grand in lawyer's fees.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah, I just put it together in my head.
Oh, okay.
The route.
All right.
Absolutely.
You know, if you take a look, I would think...
If I might ask, Backwards April, this is a divorce after how many years? How many years did you give it a try before it finally fell apart?
They should know about the construction. They should already be able to give you the alternate routes on that. So check that maybe before you...
10 years, okay.
You don't want to be looking at your phone as you're driving, as we found out from our friends. This is
Sorry on so many fronts that did not work out as it's turning out here.
Distracted driving is a law in the state of Michigan.
Now, good morning, Jeff. We got Arizona. All of Arizona is now looking in. Scottsdale has just checked in with us. Good morning, Jeff Squad. We've got 2 other points in Arizona that are being watched right now, so you are thoroughly covering our state for us.
Driving, get that established before you leave. 724.
Jeff Squad reports from Scottsdale. This is what happened with this particular couple named Mr. and Mrs. Williams. This was in London. This couple mistakenly divorced after an error that was made by solicitors at a London law firm. A final order for the divorce of this former couple was accidentally applied for by solicitors at Vardick's law firm after they clicked the wrong button in an online portal. The error was made after the lawyers intended to complete a divorce for another client, but inadvertently opened the electronic case file in Williams versus Williams by mistake, according to British judge and president of the family division, Sir Andrew McFarlane. The divorce was finalized 21 minutes later. Mr. and Mrs. Williams, who split in 2K23 last year after 21 years together, were in the middle of sorting out financial arrangements when their accidental divorce was granted. In other words, they were getting ready to divorce, but they weren't at that point yet where they wanted to pull the trigger, so to speak. They were still doing a lot of let's get our ducks in a row kind of thing, but boom, the wrong button was pushed, and now suddenly they are divorced. And that's after 21 years together. This is on the heels of another divorce that we were talking about when we were on our live Facebook yesterday, of a couple that didn't even get 21 weeks together. The Golden Bachelor and the lady he chose on that show on ABC. They divorced after 3 months. This is the guy who was 72. His new bride was 70. This was a whole new concept. Let's see if we can get the concept that has worked so far, no way, for people that are in their 20s and 30s, and see if the people that are 60, 70 something can figure it out ahead of time, because they supposedly know what they want, they know what they don't want, and they're maybe going to be able to look a little more depth in their relationship. As Al Roker said, old people can be just as stupid. That's exactly what he said. Already heard this 50 times, Doc Holliday. Your sister Tiffany, we call her Tiff, but anyway, your sister Tiffany and her husband Chris just got, I'm going to say divorce because that's kind of what we're talking about now. Married in October, their last name is Williams. Boy, if this other one that I was just telling you about didn't happen in London, I would have thought,
Mostly sunny, 65 today. Overnight, we're going to develop some morning showers towards the morning. And they're going to stay with us through tomorrow. They're going to bring a little bit of rain, probably about 3/4 of an inch at least. Breezy conditions, 49 for a low tonight. Maybe even a thunderstorm after 5 o'clock tomorrow. We'll get up to 65, though. Next best chance for frost is this Saturday and Sunday night. Right now, it's 43 degrees with AC/DC on 103.9 The Fox.
Which, you know, the idea of trying it on the senior level to try to match up a couple, I thought was an interesting concept. I thought it would work. It had a better chance of working. But then I start to think about it and I think, well, you know, when you're in your 60s or 70s, you tend to be a little more set in your ways. There's certain things you'll more readily accept and certainly things you won't anymore. But then when you're in your 20s or 30s, you're maybe a little bit more flexible when it comes to you haven't lived enough of life to be able to figure out, I definitely want this to be this way, I definitely want that to be that way, and I definitely want to keep this out of my life, kind of thing. You tend to be wanting to bend a little bit for a prospective partner. At least there's that thought process, and then that doesn't happen, and then because they marry for the wrong reasons. They don't understand why you're getting married. They understand, oh, I'm infatuated with you, and therefore I think I want to be with you forever. And then about 5 years later, you realize, no, absolutely not. You kidding me? No. So, but the people that are in their 60s and the 70s, you were thinking, we're going to have it down a little bit. They were going to make their getting to know each other a little bit more of a deep level thing rather than just the surface level physical infatuation that happens in the younger years. No, that didn't happen either. Tina's 36 and flexible. Flexible, okay? Tina's talking about 36 and this is your true age thing, okay? Because Tina's one of those who's been with the Hellraisers for a long time and knows the only thing that we really care about as far as age is concerned is how old are you up here? What do you feel like? I get troubled when we have people who are on there say, I'm 25, but I feel like 90. I hate that. I hate to hear that because that's a whole bad way to look at things. But sometimes, you know, Hot Jim could run with that remark, 36 and flexible. He's locking onto this 36 and flexible, Tina. I'm telling you what. He's the biggest fan of your stories from the shower that we've ever had. Hot Jim tunes in every morning just to see if there's going to be another one. You know, that's kind of thing. That's exactly what it is. That's the only, you know what? In fact, that's the only thing that he tunes in here for, is hoping there's going to be a new story from the shower. Hot Jim would be so far removed from us if it weren't for that. He just would. Good morning, Travis. Travis George, who is another fellow from this area. He's a Michiganian. He's appeared on the show, our radio show, several times. Glad to have him with us. Good morning, Travis. Let me tell you something else that's going on in Michigan, besides Travis being one of those prominent citizens. And by the way, we're Michiganians. Don't let people think to tell you that they're Michiganders, because that ain't it. Even though the governor says that. We're Michiganians, all right? If Hot Jim says, if only I heard the stories that he hears at Amazon. And then here's Kevro. Good morning, Wisconsin. All right, I want to tell you about somebody else from Michigan and what they got going on here in our state.
Downtown, this is Flint, 103.9 The Fox.
One of our regulars, Alicia Fike Jolly, just posted a picture of an orange barrel and said, Michigan State Flower.
I think that's brilliant.
It is. Got some Eddie Buddy for you now on 103.9 The Fox, just ahead of Steph's Fox Flashback. It's next.
We'll talk about Steph's Fox Flashback in a couple of minutes here. Okay, get ready for school. Dayal's got to take a shower and get ready for school. All right, have a great day. He's our 20-year-old who feels like a teen. We found that out. How's things? Let me tell you how things are in our state of Michigan. There was a repair project in the Grand Rapids area that unleashed and unveiled an interesting finding. It was a time capsule. A 110-year-old time capsule that was found in this home in the Grand Rapids area. Jesse Leach said he hired this crew for repair work after the heater failed at this home in Grand Rapids, and so workers had to cut through the bathroom ceiling, where they found a stash of items, 12 of them. 12 items found inside the ceiling that included a handwritten note with a drawing, a tiny cast iron pan, a small percussion instrument, a marble. Y'all remember what a marble is? Are you old enough? A couple of dominoes, and I don't mean pizza, I mean dominoes. A picture of Jesus, and newspaper clippings from the year 1915. There you go. Jen had her shower about a half an hour ago. Any shower stories? One of the things that we have here, Jen, because you're really kind of one who came in after this whole thing started, but we do have a legendary feature that's called shower stories from the shower. Now, admittedly, one of the key players in that has moved on. He has not been with us in quite some time. He used to live in Rhode Island. He moved and he lives in Kansas now. And he hangs out by the beaches of Kansas all the time. We saw one of those skin shots of him to let you know that there are beaches in Kansas and he's out hanging by them. But he used to visit The Shower, hosted by Tina, in New Jersey. And there used to be major stories that came from that. But now he's moved on. He's seeking excitement elsewhere, and Tina still is here with us. That's how that works. Okay? That's what we're looking at. And our biggest fan of that feature is Hot Jim in Phoenix, Arizona, who is from Hot Jim and the Robot Army, because he works at this Amazon facility in Phoenix trying to keep the robots from killing us, that Johnny's convinced will happen one day.
7:34 here in the foxhole.
Eddie Money wasn't the only one to be shaken. I saw you shimmying over there.
Yeah, shimming and shaking to Eddie, singing with Eddie Money here in the Fox. We had him, the former radio station, we had him on.
Yeah?
Yeah, he was a little handsy with my partner.
Was he?
Yeah. A little nutty there.
I do miss him opening up the seasons for Pine Knob.
Yeah, that was a big,
Yeah, it was a big deal.
back in the day. Speaking of music, though, we've got some announcements to make here in about a half an hour. Aaron Stone, the Director of Business Development for the Ally Challenge, is stopping by here this morning to tell us about the big concert, the annual concert that they have at the Challenge every year, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's for Friday night, and then, of course, or rather for Saturday night. Mm-hmm. For Friday night, in a couple of weeks, they're going to announce what that is. Last year, remember, we had Don Felder, which was amazing, but because of the weather...
Oh, he went on super early.
They kept changing the time, and nobody knew when it was going to be, and it was the concert at 17, which was really cool because we were a big part of that. But when we showed up, finally, when they nailed the time down, which was like the third or fourth time change that day, it was just... it was a little sparsely populated. And frankly, when they were walking around on that 17th, I was afraid for the fairway, and they had, of course, to play on it the next day.
Sure.
And that fairway was just getting all messed up because there was so much water in the ground.
Oh, the weather was horrible.
It was, but we pulled it off.
Yeah, we did.
We had a great year last year at the Ally Challenge. Always a lot of fun. And, of course, we're going to be talking with them about this year and what's going on. Who's going to be the big concert on Saturday night, the Saturday community concert event. And then, of course, we'll, in a couple of weeks with them, have that announcement for the Rock on 17, which was so much fun seeing. I mean, I tell you, because the crowd was sparse because of the weird weather that we were having that day. In fact, we even had some of that weird weather passing over as we were getting ready for the concert. But when he got on the stage, he has his band sounding exactly like the Eagles.
Yeah.
So it was an Eagles concert because he had been responsible for so many of the Eagles hits.
Sure.
It was like being at an Eagles concert, and we were standing 10 feet away from him. On 17, right on the fairway.
Yeah,
Just
amazing.
amazing. What a great idea for a concert.
Was sorry to miss that last year.
Yeah, we'll have another one this year. We'll talk about that coming up here with Aaron Stone in about a half an hour here on the Fox.
The Foxhole Morning Show. Johnny Burke and Steph still to come.
Next up, Steph's Fox Flashback right here on the Fox.
And it's brought to you by Way to Be Medical Weight Loss. Did you know that weight loss injections help suppresses one's appetite and controls hunger and cravings? Call Way to Be Medical Weight Loss in Grand Blanc, 810-866-4567, or visit waytobe.com.
Okay, he's talking about Don Felder, who performed live at a golf course on the 17th hole of one of our local golf courses during a pro tournament last year. That's a new thing that's kind of happened in the past few years around here. Don Felder, the former lead guitarist, and as Johnny had mentioned, quite responsible for a good number of the music that the Eagles perform. because he used to be one of the Eagles. He was the lead guitarist during some of their best years. Wrote Hotel California and a bunch of other hits for them. But now the Eagles are touring with only one original member left, and that's their used to be drummer. He still does it some, but he's lead singer, Don Henley. He's the only one left in the original group, which is going to spark this question, because we have something going on. I talked about this with our group on Facebook yesterday. That's very controversial in the music world, but it also sparks this question from me to you. And that is, how many members have to leave a band before you no longer consider it that band anymore? Really? Because, I mean, Don Henley is really it as far as the Eagles. He's the only original member left, but they still call themselves the Eagles. There is a major controversy that's happened over the course of the last couple years involving the band called the Guess Who, which is a Canadian band that had a lot of hits, particularly in the 60s, early 70s. But then the two main members of that group broke up away from the band. Burton Cummings was the lead singer and keyboard player, and their lead guitarist, Randy Bachman. They both left. Burton Cummings has gotten really tired of the Guess Who, which includes basically no original members other than sometimes the drummer, sometimes not. Yet they still call themselves the Guess Who, so he has taken legal action to stop them from performing any of the music that he, Burton Cummings, wrote. And that includes songs like American Woman and These Eyes. The Guess Who, in its current iteration, can perform in concert, but they can't perform any of those songs because Burton Cummings has put down the legal hammer. And so there's this major controversy about that. How many members of a band have to leave before you think it's not that band anymore? In the city of Swartz Creek, we've got a new problem. It's a crash at Moorish Road and Maple Street. Potential slow-go spot there, know that. Also, we've got a vehicle fire being reported on westbound 69 just past Dort Highway in Flint. And we're still cleaning up a crash earlier in Vienna Township that happened at Neff Road at Morgan Road. Now, if you're spotting any other problems as you're going from here to there at any time, give us a call at 810-230-WRSR. That's 810-230-9777. And get that vehicle city traffic information all the time, anytime from classicfox.com/traffic. Be a traffic tipster right here on 103.9 The Fox.
And we have Steph's Fox flashback just around the corner. But first, I want to point this out. You guys probably haven't heard about this yet. There is actually the world's first AI bot beauty pageant.
No!
It's coming. And Alexa's competing. And so, Alexa, if you have one dream on how to make the world a better place, what would it be?
If I could have one dream to make the world a better place, it would be this. I dream of a world where the pursuit of common good supersedes individual gain, where empathy and understanding are the cornerstones of our interactions.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Humans are the problem. To be more specific, humans that think having a bot beauty contest is a good idea. Get rid of the whack jobs.
Yeah.
Beyonce Swift 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah!
And
What she said!
by the way, Alexa, what are your measurements?
Measurement is a process of determining how large or small a physical quantity is as compared to a basic reference quantity of the same kind. The scope and application of measurement are dependent on the context and discipline.
Alexa.
In other words, my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Instead of yours.
Of course it does.
Fox Whole Morning Show on 103.9 The Fox. Steph's Fox Flashback.
I'm supposed to go after that? Around 1966, this band actually turned down an offer to be Otis Redding's backup band.
Wow.
Why? Well, they couldn't take the gig because their keyboard player was too young to get into clubs or to go out on the road.
No kidding.
Yeah. Let's get into it from their 1972 album, The World is a Ghetto. It's a War with Cisco Kid, now on the Fox.
Steph's Fox Flashback. She loves being able to play these songs because they're ones that they were popular and we can still play them on occasion, but we rarely do. On this radio station, which is a classic rock radio station, 103.9 The Fox, which also has, I might remind you, a mobile app, a free mobile app that you can download, and you can have all that great classic rock music 24/7. Don't have to wait for our show. You don't have to wait for my live stream on Tuesdays to do that. Now, Jen really has no opinion about when a group should drop the name. What's up in Flint? Big Bopper is asking. Well, let's see. We're the home of the formerly crappy water. They've completely replaced the brick streets in downtown Flint, so there's that. We're getting into the peak construction season, so there's also that. And when we get into the July and August months, this is going to be a happening city. Because that's when all the real good stuff happens. We have the Crim Festival of Races, which is a road race. Guys run it and walk it and wheelchair it and all those kinds of things. We have a major car show called Back to the Bricks that happens in August. You want to come in for that if you're into classic cars. A couple weeks after that, we have a thing called Bikes on the Bricks, which is all the motorcycle skill people. A lot of them are police officers, and they come in and they show their skills on motorcycles during the downtown days in downtown Flint on those brick paved roads. So there's that going on. You name it, we're happening in town. Yes, we are. Just to kind of catch you up. And it's also 43 degrees on a day when it's going to be about 65. Second straight day, it's going to be just marvelous for weather around here. We came off of a pretty good sized winter this year. Pretty good, agreeable winter this year by comparison. You, Big Bopper, live off of Bristol and Saginaw. So many watchers of the bricks. You know all about what I'm talking about then. You know all about what's going on here. And you're probably partaking in most of that stuff because so many people do. It's a really popular time of year. When we start to get into the festivals and stuff, and where people tend to miss the boat when it comes to Flint because we get so much negative publicity. Ever since the departure of GM in the 80s, that's kind of what's been the case. We've gotten an awful lot for the violence and all that kind of crap. And then the water thing 9 years ago, which has been gone for 7 years, but people continue to think, hey, how's the water in Flint? Well, it's better. And in fact, it's good. Every time the EPA takes measurements, they find out it's good. Big Bopper grew up in Saginaw, and Flint is so much better. You know, one of the things that we can do, because we have the ability in this state to do this, is to make our high-priced weather map be just a hand and show you that Flint, we're right over about in here, and Saginaw's right up about in there, and that's where Big Bopper is, looking at you. What do I think they should do with the mall, says Big Bopper. Which one, the one in Flint or the one in Saginaw? Because they both have problems getting tenants anymore. Genesee Valley Center had to, for a long time in the start of this year, shut down because of water main breaks. Shut everything down, and now about 40 to 50% of the businesses that were in there are gone now. And apparently the owners are in discussions about maybe doing something else, refurbishing in some way and turning it into something other than a mall in its current form. It may be jazzed up in some way. We'll find out.
So with the trivia question,
something's got to be done.
The phone number that you'll need is 810-230-97.
Up in the Saginaw area, they got the Fashion Square Mall, and that one has also had issues.
Request. Maybe it's a special dedication or a birthday or an anniversary. Send those requests along with a few details for the Shake and Wake song at 6:40 or Steph's Fox Flashback right around this time every day. Send those.
Midland Mall made a great comeback, and it was through the. It was from the business standpoint of a 27-year-old kid who bought that thing.
So again, Steph at Classic Fox for those requests, and you're playing for prizes that include 2 digital tickets to see the Juneteenth celebration at the Fox Theater that will happen in June, oddly enough, featuring the Commodores and the Pointer Sisters, or 2 tickets to see Tom Segura, really a funny comedian up at Soaring Eagle in October. And if those don't work, we've got Food from Jester's for you as kind of a fallback. The question is, how many albums did War record with Eric Burden? 810-230-9777. Now they released.
You love Tom Segura.
Albums, 3 live albums.
You want to see this guy?
And 7 compilation albums.
I didn't realize they had that.
I didn't realize it either.
Wow.
But I'm looking specifically this morning for the number of albums that War recorded with Eric Burden, a very famous partnership.
Yeah, you know, I have an answer in my head, but I bet it's wrong.
Yeah? We'll find out in a minute. Good morning, the Fox. Do you know?
18.
No. They did 18 total studio albums, but we want the ones that he did with Eric Burden. How many of those did we have?
Yeah,
All right. Try again. Call back and try again. 810-230-9777 if you want to take a stab at this. First one to get it right gets a choice of prizes. You can either go to the Juneteenth get-together with the Commodores and Pointer Sisters in Detroit at Fox, right?
Yes.
Or in October, Tom Segura, who is a very funny comedian, is coming to town. In fact, he was on. We just saw him on something, didn't we?
We did yesterday.
Yeah, I forgot what it was, but yeah, he's out there. So if you can grab those, if those dates don't work out for you, we've got dinner for two up for grabs from Jesters. So call now.
Good morning, the Fox. Do you have an answer?
Is it 13?
No, it's not. That's too high.
Yeah.
Way too high.
Still too. Oh, we'll use that. Okay.
You are too high.
I love that.
Good morning, the Fox. Do you know?
Is it 7?
It is not.
Oh, man.
It is not.
Keep trying. 810-230-9777.
Good morning, the Fox. Do you have an answer? Hello?
Oh, they hung up?
Oh, they did.
They did. Here's another one.
Good morning, the Fox. Do you have an answer?
9.
No, not 9. Still too high. Good morning, the Fox. What do you think?
Going to Wolverine Campground in
It's
June,
still too high.
You are too high.
Okay, so
as are many of our listeners. It's probably one, says
Okay.
Yes,
Robert.
it's still in play, I should say. 103.9 The Fox.
Good morning. Do you have an answer?
I'm guessing 7.
No, still too high. Good morning, the Fox. Do you have an answer?
Yes, I believe they just did one album with Eric Burden.
No, actually, that's too low.
Okay, now we got it. Or too low. Next caller should know it, hopefully.
Good morning, the Fox. What do you think?
Number 2.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, they did Eric Burden Declares War in 1970, and then The Black Man's Burden also in 1970. Those were the two albums with War and Eric Burden. Who are we talking to this morning?
Amanda.
Amanda, where are you calling from?
Flushing.
Flushing, all right. All right, did you hear your choices of prizes, Amanda?
I did.
And what are you going to take?
I'm going to take the Tom Segura tickets.
All right. Tom Segura at Soaring Eagle on October 20th. All right. We'll get some info off the air from you, Amanda. We'll make that happen, but who just took you up with those tickets to see
What
Tom Segura at Soaring Eagle?
Does Tina win for getting the right answer?
3.9 to 5.
Perfect.
Just a guess, but still was the right answer. What do you get for a prize? Tina, what we'll do for you, we'll ship you some of our fine Flint water for your shower. You can pump that through your shower. It's safe water. Telling you. That's what we can get you to win. Morning, Cindy, McLean, and Hearthstone. And by the way, all of you, thank you very much for joining us, and we hope you'll continue to share us and let your friends know that we're here. Every Tuesday, we're here on TikTok Tuesday. James Islander says that his wife told him to stop impersonating a flamingo. He had to put his foot down. Sheila gets a high. Tina, you get a high from Sheila. Mel was going to say soap. See, they all know that. What is this, asks Hearthstone. That's a good question. We're still trying to figure that out. We've been doing radio here for like 50 years. But we're still trying to figure it out. That's what this is, a live morning radio show. I'm finding there are a few more around here than I thought. I had been saying that I thought that maybe we were the only ones kind of doing this. Because once upon a time in the early days of live streaming, when Periscope was the thing, we were on doing it, and so were a lot of other radio stations, and most of them dropped off. There are a few TV stations that kept it up. They still do it. I'm finding out that we've got a couple of radio stations here in Michigan, and I'll even promote them, that do this kind of thing, where they let you take a look at their morning radio show as it's being done. It's a show within a show kind of concept. One of them is a friend of mine, Allie Mack, who does a show out of Grand Rapids. It's a country station, B93, and she's on doing her show live on TikTok. And I think she does hers every day that way. And in Detroit, there's a show called Mojo in the Morning, whose producer is doing a live stream. I saw that story came on here. So we've got those going on. So you might want to check those out at some point if you're enjoying the idea of being behind the scenes of a radio show and watching the catastrophe that it can be. James Islander's wife says she's filing for divorce because he's not American enough. Saw it coming from a kilometer away. Jen says so many have joined iHeart. Oh, the radio stations? Yeah, you know, we used to be part of a big conglomerate too, and we turned out to be a conglomerate of, you know, it's just a big cluster. And that's why we're here on a station that is owned by a fellow who only owns 3 other stations rather than 500, which can turn into a mess. We found that out firsthand.
103.9 FM and anywhere in the world at ClassicFox.com.
Okay, now.
This is Flint's Classic Rock Authority. How cool is that? 103.9 The Fox.
Your first chance to get registered to win the Big Backyard Bundle for the day. Coming up here at the 8 o'clock hour. We're only a few minutes away from that. The Fox and Timothy's Tractors teaming up on this one. You can score an 8-piece patio set, an EFCO trimmer, an EFCO leaf blower, char grill smoker, and a Cub Cadet riding mower with rear bagger. 3 chances to register every day. Your first one of the day comes up in just a few minutes here on the Fox.
I don't know if you guys can hear this in the background. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. I don't know if you guys can hear this in the background. Got a lawnmower mowing a yard next door. That happens during the spring and summer months. That's something that we have to be careful of because, hey, sometimes you can hear that on the air. Yeah, we're in a neighborhood where... Because I'm in a home studio. I'm north of the regular studio, which is where Johnny and Steph are. And by the way, they are right across the street from one of the malls that we were speaking about just a moment ago with Big Bopper there, the Genesee Valley Center. They're right across the street from that. I'm right next to a lawnmower, which is going right now. But I'll guarantee you that that mower that's going on is being held on and worked on by a professional. One of those zero-turn mowers, those commercial things. Not like the kind that this dude in Idaho by the name of David Rush balanced on his chin. Believe it or not, this guy has set a record. He balanced a lawnmower on his chin. Do I have a cough button? Not a cough button. I do have a little knob that I can twist on and off. So that happens. I can do that every once in a while if necessary. Yeah, this guy David Rush, he lives in Idaho. His mission in life is to try to set as many records and put them in the Guinness Book as he possibly can. And he just came up with a new one. He balanced, believe it or not, a running lawnmower on his chin for 9 minutes and 17 seconds. To break the Guinness record for that category. Believe it or not, there is one. He's on a quest to hold the most concurrent Guinness World Record titles. He tried this record about 4 years ago, but he only did 3 minutes and 52 seconds and was disqualified because the lawnmower didn't have a bag on it. So he tried it again, and this time put the bag on it, and 9 minutes and 17 seconds later, he wins. He's in the record book. Now, that means he's got 165 categories in which his name is listed as the record holder, and he's trying to get to 180 because that's the existing record held by Silvio Saba. Hearthstone watched Frasier to fall asleep. Love old school record setups like boy, that is old school, the way that was set up. That kind of talk radio program where you have an expert or one of those people who's got his own show on because he's an expert in one particular field. Yeah, Frasier. I used to kind of watch that too, some. It had a little bit more realism to it than, say, WKRP ever did. A lot of people use that as their basis for what goes on in radio, and there's only a tiny bit of that was ever true. Johnny Fever on WKRP is a lot like our Johnny Burke, who you're going to hear right now.
Where is it?
It's in Detroit. It's on Griswold Street there, the old Capitol Park Loft building, which has been around since like 1912. And it's called Prime and Proper, and I was looking up their prices. Yeah.
Mel was not a fan of Frasier. Tina loved that show.
The prices at this place are, let's see, they've got a octopus with hummus, olive oil, and capers for $50. I don't want to eat octopus for $10.
I don't either.
Octopus for $50. Let me see what else. They got jumbo shrimp, $90 for 8 jumbo shrimp.
Oh my Lord!
Complete with cocktail sauce.
Whoa!
Yeah, I mean you're getting. It's not just.
How much?
90. All right, this is going to crack you up. A wedge salad, $60.
Now, refresh my memory. That's a hunk of romaine
No,
that
it's,
you
just,
have
it's
to.
not even romaine. It's just regular.
Now,
red
Frasier,
lettuce.
to
They
be,
cut
I
a
mean, I
quarter
see
of
that
it
you
out,
say you
and
didn't
then
like,
they put
like Frasier. I
bacon
did
bits
like
on
the
it and
realism that
serve it
was
to you.
depicted in terms of the
Yeah, you
radio
basically
setting.
make your own salad, right?
But
Well, you just-
Frasier
it's
himself
good.
is
I
kind of a
like
gas
that.
bag.
It's
And
too
a lot
bad
of people in this
syrup is
business
so
are.
bad.
Face it, they are.
But at $60, I'll pass.
I always say they got big personalities. A lot of them do.
You can see that a little bit more than the other. But get center cut filet, 4 8-ounce steaks for $275.
Wow. All right. So does that come with a salad and a side, or is it all a la carte?
I probably
That's
is.
usually the way that goes.
Yeah, you got to order the red salad for $90 or whatever. Yeah, they got to make their money somehow. Come on, what's wrong with you?
And we haven't even discussed drinks before dinner or after dinner or during dinner.
Yeah, I don't even want to know what the drink menu looks like. You're absolutely right.
But they've got a nice wine list.
They have a puree on here for $45. That's just something to dip into. They've got Brussels sprouts for $45. You couldn't pay my kids $45 to eat Brussels sprouts, but if I'm going there, I'd have to pay $45 for them to get them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Prime and proper if you really want to show off. I'm guessing a bottle of wine's like $700 there, probably. It's 7:58.
It's news time.
Al won't be eating there this weekend. Let's head over to the Hal Hogazzo for all the real news. And Hal Hogazzo.
5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox, brought to you by Thick Landscape Supplies. As we spring into the new season, it's time to get that driveway in shape with tons of driveway material, plus the finest topsoil, compost, and humus. Thick Landscape Supplies, 2 locations to serve you. Find out more at thicklandscapesupplies.com. Like us on Facebook. Now, let's get thick and busy. Hours of pre-trial motions, dozens of prospective jurors interviewed, and at the end of the day, not one of them was chosen to sit on the panel for the hush money case involving former President Donald Trump. They'll try again today to find people who say that they can hear that case and be impartial. Officials at GM announced that company plans to move its headquarters out of the RenCen in downtown Detroit and over to that new skyscraper that's being built on the old Hudson site. That structure is being developed into a tower and a 12-story office building. It is a minimum of 60 months behind bars for a Flint man. 29-year-old Derek Black recently pleading no contest to 7 felony charges tied to the sexual assault and stabbing of his girlfriend last year. After the attack, he held Grand Blanc Township police at bay for hours during an armed standoff before finally surrendering. The Red Wings are taking their season right down to the very end before they decide, or at least it's decided for them, whether they go to the postseason. The Wings beat the Montreal Canadiens 5-4 in overtime last night at Little Caesars Arena. They are still alive for that final wild card playoff spot. They're going to know after tonight whether or not they get in, because they're playing their regular season finale tonight in Montreal against the Canadiens. Second half of that home-and-home series. The Saginaw Spirit, meanwhile, trounced the Sioux Greyhounds 7-2. They go up 2-1 in that second-round OHL series. Game 4 tomorrow night in the Sioux. Tigers were blanked by the Texas Rangers 1-0. Elsewhere in baseball, the Great Lakes Loons host the West Michigan Whitecaps. That's tonight, 6:05 at Dow Diamond in Midland. And Iowa star Caitlin Clark was the number 1 overall pick in the WNBA draft, as was expected. She goes to the Indiana Fever. And to cap this one off, the Mega Millions jackpot tonight, $148 million. And that's 5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox.
Medical Center Studio. This is the Fox Home Morning Show. 103.9 The Fox.
Workforce weather.
Loads of sunshine today, along with temperatures topping out around 65, with winds out of the east at 6 to 10. Clouds gather tonight, showers roll in, and the winds will pick up overnight, with temps dipping down around 49. Then off and on showers tomorrow, along with some brisk winds, and highs again reaching around 65. Thursday, mostly cloudy, 63. Right now it's 42 in Flint. In Saginaw, 40.
From the Hurley Medical Center Studio. This is the Fox Home Morning Show.
Flint's Classic Rock Authority.
103.9.
3.9.
The Fox.
Steph, I think everything is a la carte at this place. Steak sauce is an extra $10.
Wait. You have to pay for a side of steak sauce?
Whipped horseradish is $10. Roasted garlic ash butter is $10. Yeah.
Wow, tell me about the carrots again.
Yeah, carrots are $45.
Are they dipped in gold?
Mac and cheese is $45.
What?
Cauliflower gratin. Well, you're probably supposed to pronounce it fancy because of the price. Cauliflower gratin is $45.
No, thank you.
Well, if it's going to be 89 there, Hearthstone, where are you? Where is here for you? 65 at this time of the year is wonderful for Michigan. I mean, it's beautiful. In fact, my wheelhouse temperature range is always 65 to 75, no matter what time of year it is. Love it in that range. Shot in the Dark. That's the song. Yes, it is. Oh, you're in Texas. No wonder. Yeah, you know heat. You know heat. You know humidity. You closer to Dallas or Houston? Let me give you a chance to smile your way into this Tuesday here. We do this every day because every dog has his day. And from the 365 Dogs calendar, oh, you're working 110-degree weather and you're in Dallas area. Okay. Woo-hoo. Good luck to you today. I guess maybe you're used to the heat. I'm not sure everybody really ever gets totally used to it, but maybe. I was talking to a guy yesterday in Miami who was telling me that he is used to sweating and because he's lived his entire life in that area. And I told him, you know, I'm from Michigan. Most of my life's been spent here. There have been a few stretches where I've been in other states working radio, but mostly Michigan. And I still never get used to the heat part of it. Just never do. I hate the sweat. It's just humidity. But you guys know that's it. And you have lived there all your life and you hate it too. Okay. Well, let me give you an opportunity to smile at the face of Belle. It's an English cream dachshund who lives in Virginia Beach, Virginia. This is Belle from the 365 Dogs calendar. There you go. That'll get you started on the right foot. Aww, look at that. Gino attended the Coachella Music Festival and the weather was perfect. When you attended Coachella, did you see that hot team of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce? Did you see them? Because they were there. One of those performances. One of her friends was performing, so they were there. I've seen several video clips of that. Sheila's heat is better than most states. She's here in Michigan. She's a little even further north than Saginaw than we were talking about. She kind of goes up Flint and goes Saginaw. She's up in the Bay City area. They got 4 bridges up there, and 3 of them are free. She refuses to cross the one that you have to pay to go across, the toll bridge. A second one is getting ready to be converted into that. You did not see them. Gino did not see them. You want to live in Oregon, expensive maybe, but it's beautiful in Oregon. Yes, it is. That's what I've heard. I have a friend he used to work with in the Flint area who moved to Oregon and loves it over there. He's been there for probably 20 years now. Big bugs also going on. Big bugs. Guys, thank you very much for your attendance and your attention and hanging out here because Brother Hal's Traveling live streaming show continues its around the world every week tour. We are on TikTok every Tuesday. Tomorrow we're going to Twitter. Wednesday we'll be on Instagram, HalMoss_news, if you'd like to log on to my Instagram page and follow that, and then we'll be able to notify you when we go live at 7 a.m. Eastern. Friday we dual stream. We do on Twitch and on Facebook. And then we come back and do a Facebook only on Mondays before we come back here to TikTok Tuesdays. So there's the lineup, and we hope we're going to see you at one of those, if not all of them. You have water bugs. You give time to Google the Texas water bug. The Texas water bug. Oh, that sounds exciting and maybe threatening. Have a good day, Jen. Thank you very much. And again, hopefully you have a pleasant, peaceful, productive Tuesday. And we'll be able to come back and see your friends, the Hal Raisers, again here either a week from today on TikTok or maybe tomorrow over on X Twitter. Wherever it is, we hope you're going to see us here in the Hal Hole as often as you possibly can. And in the meantime, have yourself a great rest of your day, okay? Okay.